All right, how you guys doing? Take number two. We actually had a recording yesterday, and I'm here with Phillip Ocon. I'm
Mm.
going to give a quick intro. Phillip Ocon from Colorado State University. Phillip Ocon, he's a freshman offensive lineman at Colorado State University. He had a impressive football background from his high school career over at St. Francis High School in La Cunada. High school accolades, he was all-State, three times All-CIF. He earned MVP of the Angeles League as an offensive and defensive lineman. He played both ways, which is unheard of for guys that are 6'4", 290. He was an all-league selection, and he was also a team captain. He was a monster in high school. He was also a multi-sport athlete, played football, baseball, and track, played basketball as well when he was in middle school. He was also an honor roll student. That's another thing that's important. He had his grades right, and that helped balance his athletic commitments with academic excellence. He was a three-star recruit. I have my own thoughts about that. Not going to go into that right now.
I definitely do too, but yeah, we should stay away from that topic.
But definitely balled out. He benched 405. I'm going to say that right now. He benched 405 as a sophomore in high school. And he ended up committing to Colorado State on June 22nd, enrolled in August. And as a freshman at Colorado State, he's expected to leverage his high school success and his versatility to make a significant impact for the Rams offensive line. And one of my best things that I really have a lot of respect for is he was the scout team player of the year. And that's a straight dog position. You're not playing on Saturdays. You're just putting in work. And it's offensive linemen are already unsung heroes, but scout team offensive linemen, it's even harder to have eyes looking at you. So you're probably blowing people up.
Yeah, I was definitely at practice, man. Practice was everything for that award, man. And it was good to get some praise definitely at the end of the year. We had guys on that O line like John Holthouse, Zach Smith, Berlin Lillard, Braden Hells. All those guys are freshmen in my class too, so they had to go through all that garbage just like I did. So those shout out to those guys.
I
Yeah,
love the
dude.
mud. The
Love it,
mud
man.
is the best place to be, man. It's grimy.
Football, man. It's football. It's the best part.
So I'm gonna move to these questions right now. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced starting football in high school, and how did you overcome them?
Man, a couple of bigger challenges I faced. I got injured my sophomore year, and then I gained a lot of weight, man. So losing weight was a big challenge I faced, dude. But I got through that, and once I overcame those, it was kind of downhill from there, man. It was a lot more fun. I was having at practice and just playing football after I kind of got over those two hills.
And how'd you do that? Like, how'd you lose? What did you weigh, and then how did you lose the weight?
My sophomore year, after we had lost to Long Beach Poly in the CIF championship, my line coach was like, "Hey, we need to talk." And he went and said, "How long has it been since you've been on the scale?" And it had been like since freshman year. I hadn't been on the scale in a minute. So I got on and I weighed 356. And it was like a shock to me too. I was like, wow, I didn't think I was that heavy. I thought I was like 325. And he was like, yeah, this is, you gotta lose weight if you want to play full college football. If you want to go to the next level, you're gonna have to lose some weight. I took me a little while, kind of hesitant back and forth, not really taking it serious. And then I really started to take it serious during the summer. That's when I started to lose weight. I was going to summer football in the morning, and then I would go to jiu-jitsu class at night, and I would do that Monday through Friday, maybe on Saturday, go to open mat in the morning. And yeah, dude, it was just extra work. And then I'd have a protein shake in the morning and then like one meal at night after jujitsu. And I kept that up for like 6, 7, I think maybe 8 months. And yeah, all the weight came off, man. And I picked up a bunch of offers.
Oh man, yeah, you were doing awesome in high school. I had a chance to talk to the coaching staff from St. Paul So Coach Machete and Robert Land, they had a lot of great things to say about you, man.
Yeah, that's big praise too from those guys. That was a program that every year at St. Francis, those guys were no slouch. So I'm glad those guys gave me some praise. That's really glad to hear that for sure.
What did you learn? So you used to train with us coming down, and let me tell the audience out there. So Phillip Ocon, when he was a ninth grader, he used to come all the way from South Pasadena to Lakewood. So that on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. So he's pretty much on Sundays waking up 5:30. What time were you waking up?
Dude, I was waking up at like 5:30, cause I had to go pick up Beans and Ivan too. So I would be waking up early, man, and then we get over to yours by like 6:50, 7. We'd get to work, man.
So what did you learn? What was your biggest takeaway from working with the logs?
Dude, discipline and respect, man. Like you get up 6 in the morning, 5:30, whatever it is in the morning. That's with everything in life. You don't want to go do it. That's first. But with the logs, especially, dude, it's one of those things, man, where you kind of learn you can't do anything in this life half-assed. Like if you you're just lifting with your legs, you lift with your beer, it hurt your back, dude. If you're not looking at the log as you're rolling it, it's going to knock you in the shit. It's going to hurt like shit, man. So, that's definitely is like, everything has to be done correctly 100% all the time. That's definitely something that I think I learned with the logs. That's kind of an underrated thing that we picked up, I guess.
Yeah. So you definitely had to approach them with full focus because we were working with, 200, 300-pound logs that move and that will fall on you and break your leg in half.
Yeah, dude, for sure, man. That's the last thing you want at 7 in the morning on a Sunday is a big old tree knocking into your leg, man. These things were no joke for sure.
Moving into your recruiting process, you in our previous meeting, you mentioned the honesty of Colorado State's coaches. How did their recruiting approach differ from all the other schools that you visited? And you don't have to mention other schools' names.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
You gotta put them on blast. If you don't want to, it's up to you.
Nah, man. I had a pretty, with all the coaches I experienced in my recruiting, every single one of them was very respectful and very good. The thing that Colorado State did a little bit better than anyone, they were a little bit more personable. You know what I mean? I wasn't really planning on taking an official visit to Colorado State, and Coach Best was urging me to. They really, really wanted to get me on campus, and then once I got on campus, I understood why. It's a hard place to say no to. And then Coach Norvell did get on the phone with my dad. My dad wasn't able to make my official visit. We had just come back from vacation, so he couldn't take a second week off work. But he didn't get to go, and Coach Norvell spent a solid hour and a half on FaceTime with him, just talking to him, showing him around the facility, kind of making up for what he missed on the visits. Once after kind of that call, me and my dad talked, and we were like, man, this is a place that wants you. This is, you like it here. Why not pull the trigger? This is where you want to be. That's how it went down.
If you're giving advice to another kid that's in the same, at that same position, trying to figure out, hey, how do I make this decision? What advice would you give them?
Man, dude, it was for me, man. It was go wherever you're wanted. Go where you're wanted and go where, you're valued. I could be anywhere in the country and my attitude would not change. I would go every day to practice with my hard hat on, ready to clock in and work my ass off. But, when you go do that and you work your ass off and your coaching staff appreciates what you do and they let you know that they appreciate what you do, that's a special place to be. So that's definitely my advice is go somewhere that you're wanted for sure.
Definitely got to go where you're loved. You know what? Actually, I'm just thinking about this. I don't know if you know this, but my first college offer was Colorado State.
Oh, for real? Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
That was my first offer.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was back in '93. So
damn, dude, that is crazy. That's funny.
Yeah, Unfortunately, they lost their head coach during the recruiting process. It was an old school coach. So
Was it Sonny Lubick that offered you?
yes,
Was it his?
Sonny
Damn,
Lubick,
that's
man.
crazy.
He was like, I guess he was like hardcore, man, and
Yeah,
like
he was he
kids
was
were
he was that
soft.
dude back in the day.
Kids got soft.
Um,
So, but yeah,
that's crazy.
he those guys. So Colorado State offered me first. So I went on a recruiting trip out there. I know what it looks like, everything.
That's crazy.
So yeah, man.
I know you're gonna have to come out for a game
Oh yeah,
next year,
no,
Jaya,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, so for sure, I definitely got to get out there.
Yeah, man. Fort Collins is awesome.
Transitioning to college. What strategies did you use to master the faster tempo and like the higher expectations of college practice? Like, what did you do? How did you approach that?
For one, man, I was like, I can't be afraid to mess up, dude. I just played everything full speed as much as I could. And like, if I mess up, I messed up going 100 miles an hour. Sometimes that corrects your mistake if you get like if you get lucky. But for sure, like number one overall is you got to be in shape. Like you just got to be in shape. That's how football is. You got to be in good shape. But once you're in good shape, you just going from high school to college, you got to be 100% every single play. You can't take a play off. It's just how it is, or you're gonna get embarrassed because there's a guy in front of you who's just as good as you are, and he's not taking a playoff. So that's definitely the thing I've learned is no plays off, man. It's go time every second you're on that field.
As a scout team player, did you watch film of yourself? Like, how did that work? Or was it just how much film did you get to see of yourself as a scout team player?
So with us, it worked a little different. They'd pull us out of our position meetings, like all the scout team guys, and put us in the team room, and we wouldn't watch ourselves. We'd watch ourselves on Thursdays, but we wouldn't watch ourselves on Monday through Wednesday. We would watch the other team's offensive line and try to replicate that as best as possible. Like we wouldn't use our Colorado State techniques when we were blocking up like Utah State's offensive line. We'd use whatever their techniques and whatever they're blocking up. So that's how it usually went.
So would it be like this? So on Monday you'd start using, your opponent's technique, and by Wednesday you're just a fucking savage and just doing your own thing, being a monster out there, or you
Yeah,
trying to
man.
stay true to the opponent's.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie, man. There'd be some times where we the GA who coached our offensive line, he was a D line coach, so he was there just to get us squared away. But he would sometimes he would tell me I needed to shuffle when I pulled or do this thing. Dude, I'd throw that'd go in one ear out the other, and I'd just be like, man, I'm gonna take someone's head off, dude. Fuck it, dude. Oh, that's how I went half the time. But yeah, it's real, man. This is how it goes, man. It's part of the game.
Yeah, because definitely what you don't want to say as what you don't want to say as a coach is they're not going to do that in the game. They're
Yeah,
not going to. What if the first string guy gets hurt, the next guy comes in and he's moving just like you are?
exactly.
What are you
Dude.
going to do?
Exactly. Practice, man. Iron sharpens iron, dude. That's the most fun part of football for sure, man, is practice. I love that.
So as you're going to practice, how do
Yeah.
you stay mentally prepared and motivated throughout the whole season? How do you stay like locked in?
So I kind of try to I try to set an example, dude. Like everyone feels the same way, dude. We're all human. We all have the same urges. You get up in the morning after 6 weeks of football, your body's going to tell you, hey, stay in bed. Hey, you go back to sleep, rest. Oh, man, I just said, F it, dude. I go and I'm going to be, if everyone else is saying, oh, hey, Phil, look at Phil. He's ready to go for practice every day. Hey, Phil's going 100%, I can't go 50% because if Phil gets me, he's going to get me. He's really going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
so that way, man, if everyone sees you going 100%, and it doesn't even have to be a vocal thing. It doesn't have to be you being a juice man and yelling at everyone. I'm a guy who likes to do that. I like to get everyone going, but it don't even have to be a vocal thing, man. As long as you're going 100% every play, and you just got that mentality of, man, it sucks, but we got to get through because we got to get better. It becomes more fun, and that way everyone does get better. So that's kind of how I got got through it, I guess.
So memorable moments and lessons. Aside from the Steel Canyon game, you told me about the Steel Canyon game. You had the great play in there.
Yeah.
Blasting that dude, falling on top of him, your teammates running behind you. Are there any other high school plays or moments that shaped your playing style?
Yeah, for sure. Man, there's a lot of like, I can think of a lot of real good like high school moments like that I've had, but like, dude, there's a lot. You know, one that stands out to me probably I'll say is when it was another one my sophomore year, but we run trap. So pull the tackle around, play side tackle blocks out, the guard in the center, combo to the backside linebacker, and the tackle pulls up to the front side linebacker, try to bust the play open from there, and the receivers will go crack down on the safeties. But we run that.
Which one are you?
I'm the left tackle, so I'm pulling.
Okay.
So I run through the gap. I'm running, and I don't see a linebacker. So I'm like, I can't stop in the gap, so I just keep running. And the first thing that came in front of me was the free safety. And I got good wood on him, dude. I knocked the crap out of him. Same thing, finished the block, laying on top of him. And Max Garrison, he was our running back that year. He plays at SDSU right now. He busted that run for like a touchdown, like 80 yards. So man, that was another one in my career. Was like, man, dude, I gotta put good stuff on film, and I just gotta be nasty, dude, every single play. So that was a good one for sure.
I definitely remember that play.
Yeah.
I actually have that play on your highlight film, because I saw you come through the hole. You're like, dang, there's nobody here. I can't just fall. I'm going to keep running.
Just go,
and I
dude.
think you hit the guy maybe 25 yards downfield.
Yeah, dude. So that was a crazy play. That was cool.
What's the most valuable piece of advice Jacob Gardner has shared with you?
Man, dude, he's like a fountain of knowledge, dude. Like, you know, it's one thing because like you listen to a lot of people, and a lot of people have been like, oh, I've been around college football for 50, 40, however many years they've been around. And those people are like, yeah, you respect them. But the guys who I respect a lot are the guys who have so many snaps under their belt. You know what I mean? Like, those are the guys from like, those guys have that little secret sauce where they're not just, they don't have to, like, they don't just say it, they know it. You know what I'm saying? They can do it in their sleep. So like, some real important stuff he's told me is, man, you got to always rely on your technique, dude. Like, what are you going to do when you're going up against a 6'5", 6'6", 350-pound D tackle from Texas? That guy's bigger than you. That guy's stronger than you. The only thing you got is your technique, man. So it's just, you got to always always be working your technique, always be getting ready. So that's something that he told me early in my freshman year that I kind of took to heart, was that for sure.
Yeah, it's great advice for athletes, because a lot of athletes, they just rely on their athleticism. They rely, they especially athletes that are bigger, faster, and stronger than like 95% of everybody they play with. But once you come to college, it's just like that. You're gonna play against guys that are bigger, faster, and stronger than you, and it's like,
yeah,
okay.
Man.
What can you do? What advantages do you have? And I think, and I'll just say this, is I think one of the greatest advantages of an offensive player is you know where you're going.
Yeah.
You have that. That's a big factor, is that you actually know where you're going. And as a defensive player, we don't know where you're going. Sometimes we could guess, we can watch film, things like that, tendencies, but just the fact that you know where to step first. Like, you can make the first step. You can step the right direction before the defense. And that makes, and football is like a game of inches.
Inches, man. Angles and inches, dude. So
angles and inches. Exactly.
That's a big, that's a big advantage, especially too, man. We both said football's a game of angles and inches, dude. That first little step, and most of the time in the trenches, man, whoever wins the battle is whoever gets their second foot in the dirt. So, like, man, dude, it happens fast, dude. Happens fast. Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
When I was over at high school, we had an offensive lineman named Coach Diaz. He was over at Arizona. He's an offensive lineman from Arizona, and sometimes he would demonstrate, and I was like, holy shit, look how quick, boom, boom. Like his first two
man.
steps. I guess that's the thing that stood out to me the most with offensive linemen, like D1 offensive linemen, is like their first 2 and 3 steps, boom, boom, or boom, boom, really,
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah, it depends. Coaches teach it differently, man. Coaches teach it like settle surge, so that way you're starting with your like I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain.
what
You're
is
starting with your
that settle surge for
you're
the
starting
people
with your
out there?
outside foot, and so you're up. So if I'm gonna settle surge, so say I'm playing, if you can imagine, say I'm playing a left guard, and I got a 2-eye, like a guy who's lined up on my inside shoulder. I'm gonna take if this is my left foot, I'm gonna take my left foot, pick it up and put it down real quick, just to get myself going, to put my right foot in the dirt, that's my settle, and then run through that block, that's my surge. So those first 2 quick steps and then run through that block, that's what like a settle surge is. So those first 2 quick steps are very, very like critical for us, especially Colorado State. We do things a little differently. I won't like give away Coach Bess's the way he does things or the way he teaches us concepts, but you know, our footwork is a big part of what we do every day. The blocks that we do, we like every single day we're hitting the sled and working the footwork for them because it's so important. It's just how part of who we are. So yeah.
You mentioned you're working on your flexibility and your foot speed.
Yeah.
How has your training evolved to target those areas? So like what kind of things do you do to improve those things? Are you doing extra work or are you
always extra work, you know what I'm saying? A lot of jump rope. I've been jumping a lot of rope, man. Try to get my feet as quick as possible. A lot of ladder work. The ladder is everything. And then that 4-cone drill. The 4-cone drill that we did a lot with you, coach. I do that damn near every day.
Nice.
And then yeah, that's kind of what I do.
How long does your extra work, like how much time do you devote to doing extra work every day?
So for me personally, like if we have practice, I'll usually finish practice. Maybe I'll spend 5-10 minutes after practice getting that extra work in, and then I'll wait, recover, maybe go to class, eat, finish up with meetings, and then at night, that's when I get my extra in. I'll do another workout at night just stay. Oh yeah, dude, that's, you know, I'm a big believer in like the best way to stay not sore is just keep working out. Like that's it's probably wrong and it's on a bunch of different levels, but dude, that's what I do. That's what works for me. Like I'll get in the ice tub after practice, and then at night I'll go right back into the gym and hit the weights hard, or I'll hit the heavy bag for an hour, like just something just to keep going, you know?
So there's a guy that used to do that. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Mamba mentality, baby.
Absolutely, man.
Mamba mentality.
Absolutely, man.
So
never stops.
What's interesting about the extra work, I mean, wow, even if you just do 15 minutes 4 times, just 15 minutes 4 times, that's 1 hour.
Yeah, it's an hour.
In 2 weeks, that's 2 hours. That's like a whole entire practice.
Yeah.
And it's focused reps. You know, you're not waiting in lines. No one's really looking at you. You can make the mistakes. You can make the mistakes and not really care. You could mess up on your footwork, stuff like that, but it's all right because you're on your own.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big thing is those little mental reps. I definitely like what's an underrated thing I do, and I got told by one of our coaches that he used to do this, and you know, he spent 13 years in the NFL, Coach Mike Goff. Kind of one of his things was every day before practice, you go out there, try to get out there 10, 15 minutes early. You put your helmet down and you just run your footwork. Like I'll get deep and run through the helmet like I'm running a double team. I'll run my footwork through a double team like it's a 3 technique, like it's a 2-eye technique, like it's a head up technique. I'll pull around like we're running pin and pull. I'll pass set like it's a 3 technique, like it's a 2 technique. I'll pass set it like it's a head up shade. I'll do all that before practice. That way, when it's time to go and practice, we're already ready. There's no real like warm up, especially in college. They expect you to be warm when practice starts. So you know that's definitely a big part of the game is that extra work.
Yeah, that's great. That's great information, man. You mentioned slow feet don't eat in our last meeting. what mindset shifts would you recommend to younger players preparing for college? Like, what does their mindset have to be like when they're in college as opposed to being in high school?
So like high school transitioning into college. Like I just finished my senior year of high school. If I'm in your shoes right now, all I'm doing is getting in shape and I'm getting my foot speed as fast as possible. That's all I'm doing. And I'm in the weight room obviously. But those are the two biggest things. Like you make plays in college just by being in the right place. You know what I mean? Like you make blocks just by being in the right place. As long as your feet are fast enough to stay on the same plane as your whole offensive line to not get picked, you'll make blocks. So it's like, man, if your feet, you gotta have the fastest feet on the field. That way, you know, it's just better, dude. If you can't bring your big body to the spot you need to bring it to make the play, to make the block, you're no use to anyone, you know? So you got to get to that spot faster than anyone, man. It's just important, man. Like it's like how bad you want to win is how bad you want to move your feet to get to that spot. That's how important it is, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's just very similar to being a defensive player. On defense, 90% of it is being in the right spot, being where you're supposed to be. And it's sometimes it's difficult, you know, it's difficult to do that. You're playing in front of 50, 60, 70, 90, 100,000 people. You have a lot of things going through your mind. The ball's snapped. You just look the wrong direction just for a second. Step the wrong way. You're done.
Yeah, man. It's a game of seconds, man. Seconds, inches, and angles, dude. It's crazy, you know? So you gotta, yeah, when you're on that field, you gotta be hyper focused. So that's how it is.
What's one thing you wish you did differently in high school to prepare for college football? So like if you could go back and change something, what would you change?
Man, dude, I the way I prepared, I thought I did a pretty good job. So personally, like if you told me I needed to change one thing, I would have lost the weight earlier. I would have lost that weight by like my sophomore year. I would have never gained that weight because that I feel like I would be there would definitely be some changes if I would have done that. But that's something I would have definitely done differently. But like other than that, man, I felt like I did a good job. You know, I kept it straight in the classroom. I kept it straight off the field. I didn't have any issues. And I worked my ass off and prepared as best I could prepare to be ready to get to the campus and get on the team. That's how it went, man.
You know, talking to you, it seems like that Long Beach Poly loss like really motivated you and the rest of your team.
Yeah, man. That I'll never forget that loss. It's a damn shame because I wish I could tell you like that never happened again to me. The next year it happened again to me. So like I wish I could like be all badass and be like, yeah, man, that was a lot. Nah, dude, we lost worse the next year, man, to end us. So, but yeah, man, both those losses, dude. You know, you lose games like that, you just, man, you get in the weight room or on the field the next year, and man, you got that feeling in your gut. You're just like, damn, it pushes you. It definitely pushes you hard.
The quote that I have for you: pain and embarrassment are the greatest teachers. You know, a coach could tell you, hey, do this, get lower, watch film, yada, yada, yada. But it's not till you have that embarrassment of making a mistake in front of thousands of people, losing in front of thousands of people, you know, or even worse, sometimes the fans won't see it, but when you go back and watch the film and the whole team is watching you get blasted on your ass and 100 guys... 100 guys
dude.
are like, oh, like sometimes that's worse than like
man.
90,000 people saying, oh.
Yeah, that's dude. You hear like it's kind of funny because people are motivated in like different ways. You know, I got like there are guys who are motivated just because they like to win, and then there are guys who are motivated because they're like, man, I do not want to be the guy in film room who everyone's laughing at and clowning on for getting my ankles broke during the game, or like, you know, so that's definitely a motivation. Oh man. I definitely that's kind of a funny story, dude. I learned pretty well from embarrassment. My head coach, Coach Dean Harrington, love him to death, and he was kind of the reason I started taking that weight loss journey seriously. I think I've told you this before, Coach.
Tell it to me, man. It's great. To remind me.
We just played against Long Beach Milliken. They just beat us by they beat us bad my junior year, and I had the best blocked game of my life. I thought I would pass pro. I didn't let I let a guy in the backfield. I was like, I'm safe from getting grilled. I'll be good. So I'm sitting in the film room, just ready to listen to Coach yell for an hour. And he walks in, and the first thing he says, he's like, "Oh, Todd, you need to lose some weight, you fat fuck, if you want to get some big time offers in front of the whole team." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, yes, sir. All I can say is yes, sir, dude." And I was like, "Man, I gotta lose this weight now, dude." So yeah, dude, embarrassment's definitely a good teacher, man. I know that from firsthand experience.
Oh man, that's a great story, man. Do
Yeah,
you,
man.
do you guys still have you still gotten to talk and while you've been up there?
I've talked to Coach Harrington a little bit, and a couple of the coaches. I got to go visit them before I take off back out to Colorado. I definitely will.
Yeah. It definitely gets harder to visit, to keep those same connections. Once you get in the college, and even like the pro world, sometimes it gets hard to see.
Yeah, it gets hard
coaches.
it gets hard to make contact, but it gets good, man. Try to keep in contact with everyone as much as possible.
We're moving towards the end of this podcast. Last couple questions I have. How do you guys build chemistry off the field? So you and your teammates, you guys practice, you're in the weight room, but how do you guys build chemistry outside of the field and outside of the weight room? What do you guys do?
So when you're a freshman, dude, you're getting there and you're in the dorm with everyone, right? And that's one way it definitely starts, is everyone's in the dorm, you're all living together, having a good time. But for the rest of the team, dude, it depends. A lot of the older guys, dude, you're always going to the bar together, dude. There's good bars out in Fort Collins, or so I've heard. I'm underage, so I wouldn't know. But Fort Collins is definitely a fun town to be in, but we all are always hanging out. There's not much else to do in town other than hang out with your boys. So the guys who I play football with are my brothers, man. I see those guys every single day, even outside of football. So there's no really specific thing we do to bond together, dude. We're always we live together. So it's just how it goes.
So we have the NIL, we have a lot of we have a lot of athletes transferring, and it seems to be year by year. Do offensive linemen jump in the portal as much as the skill guys? I'm just trying to.
I mean,
are offensive linemen more committed? That's my question for you. Are offensive linemen more loyal and more committed to the mission, or are they also, jumping in the portal? And
man,
what are your thoughts, man?
I feel like the answer is yes, man. I feel like a lot of my boys, especially the ones I know, they're not as loyal to like a color or a school as much as they are to a coach or a coaching staff. You know what I mean? So I feel like yes, offensive linemen I feel like are more loyal than your average dude, but I feel like that's especially true when it comes to a coaching staff. But yeah, man, like me, dude. I mean, I'm at Colorado State, so here I am. Especially our entire O-line room, dude. We brought a couple guys in from the portal, but no one left. We're really tight knit. We're a really tight knit group. So it kind of starts from there, dude. We kind of try to set an example for the rest of the facility to try to be like us, stay as tight as possible and don't let anyone leave, So that's how it goes.
Last question.
Yeah.
What's your personal goals and what are your team goals this upcoming season?
My personal goal, man, is to get better. Every day, get better. That's my daily goal. Get as much sleep as I need, get as much all my homework done, do well in school. Every day, get better. Semester goal, a 3.5, have some good grades. And then seasonal goal, team goal, man, we want to win the Mountain West, baby. We want to bring a Mountain West championship back to canvas, and we want to go to a bowl game. That's and hopefully, man, if we do it right, we're going to the college football playoff. We're the group of we're the team that's not group of 4 going to the playoffs. So that's the goal, baby. That's it.
It's definitely a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
We did it over at Oregon when in our season we were supposed to finish 9th or 10th in the league, 1994. No one ever thought that we would win the league and go to the Rose Bowl, but it starts off one person at a time. So it starts off
Exactly.
with you, and then you do your thing, and then boom, it gets contagious. Then the next guy does it, and the next guy does it. Everybody has to be
Exactly.
bought in and locked in.
Exactly. And then, that starts with everyone playing their role too. Like, even if I'm a 2 this year and I'm not starting, dude, I'm going to be do the best job as I can. I'm going to watch the most film. I'm going to be at practice, working my butt off. I'm going to ask to go play for the scout team if I have to get on that, whatever I can do to get on that field. You know what I'm saying? So just being the guy who just puts the first step forward in the journey of, hey, man, I'm going to give up a piece of myself so that this team succeeds and we succeed at a high level. So man, I hope it's going to be a good season this next year for Colorado State for sure. And we're going to do some special things.
Any shout outs?
Man, shout out my boys at South Pass. All y'all know who you are. Shout out St. Francis. Shout out Colorado State, man. Shout out my family. Shout out the early morning Sunday crew with Coach Josh. Shout out to all those guys. Yeah.
There you have it. Cats Not Bears podcast, session number 1. We're here with Phillip Ocon.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck in the season.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
Peace.